August 29, 2016. You're looking at the latest from the National Hurricane Center. Notice that it's still a Cat 3. This is Gaston, but the movement is due north now, not northwest, and that more than likely indicates the beginning of the turn northeast and back towards the British Isles. Tropical Depression 8 is still moving northwest at 9 miles an hour. It was due west yesterday. That's indicating the turn, and that's an important part of this video. We could have 3 storms that rake the East Coast, guys, in the next week or so, and it will be triple impacts as far as rain, winds, and rip currents. Not saying there'd be major storms, but it doesn't take one to have record floods. Just ask the people in Louisiana and Mississippi from a couple of weeks ago. Here's the one we're watching in the Gulf, Tropical Depression 9, moving west at 8 knots or 9 miles an hour. It's expected to curve back into Florida. This is the little disturbance that's just sticking off the coast there, keeping plenty of rain into Texas and Louisiana. It's a 1% chance of cyclone formation. Excuse me, 10% chance of formation in the next 48 hours. That would depend on, I guess, if it kept that center of circulation off the coast into that water, guys. So just keep an eye on it. And you've got this disturbance that's coming off the coast of Africa. Right now it's a 0% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours, but they warned us in a video a couple days ago, guys. I tracked that model that showed an impact on the U.S. mainland around September 10th. So again, this is just a 48-hour forecast, but that's going to change, and I'll show you the 5-day forecast. And they keep failing to mention the rotation that's southwest of Gaston, but now this thing in the 5-day forecast has a 50% chance of formation. But notice this lingering storm in 5 days still off the Texas coast, so we may have flooding there. That thing could possibly, as it's moving south, move back out into the Gulf and strengthen. But notice the rotation below Gaston. That's Gaston. You can see that well-defined eye, but right there they just don't mention it. It's kind of in dry air. We'll have to watch it though. Then you see into the Gulf now coming Tropical Depression 9. It's supposed to come out into the Gulf. We're going to look at the tracking models on that with the date, and then, like I said, recurve back into Florida as of the current models. You can see the well-defined eye still in Gaston, and you can see the circulation just below it. But notice on the East Coast now, guys, there's 2 rotation points. Both are in the models to develop and rake up that East Coast. Now think about what we're talking about here. Those 2, maybe not developing into strong storms, but enough to give you flooding rain. But right after that, Tropical Depression 9 in the Gulf is supposed to follow them. And in the models, it shows 3 storms raking the East Coast back to back. That's important because we've seen this year bring record flooding. And now we're seeing a record number, I think, if we could track this thing back, a record number of possible storms at one time. Again, you can see the storms, but that circulation there in the very center of the screen, guys, unless it's just going to stay in dry air and get sheared apart, we may need to watch it. But more than likely, it will take a northern turn as far north as it is at this point. But you can see you've got 2 locations on the East Coast there that are showing rotation. Now let's look at the water vapor loop, and that's important. You can see what's happening off Texas and Louisiana, and this gives you an idea of how Tropical Depression 9 is starting to pull in the circulation in the cloud patterns. Watch this as it expands. As it moves away, fully away from Cuba, all it has is open, warm water, and this is the projected path. We're going to go through it, look at it closer, and you can check your timestamps. That goes up to September 8th. But notice what happens here. We've got Tropical Depression 9 forming in the Gulf. You've got 3 centers of circulation now lined up, and we'll step the model right there as they pull off. I'm going to come back so you can check your dates. But these models have changed, and we've been watching it for over a week. But you can see here you've got 3 centers of circulation that are lined up to go at least through the Georgia, Carolina area, and each day these have slightly varied. You can see Gaston out in the middle, but you come up and we'll go back through it one more time and look at your dates. But you notice that Tropical Depression 9 rakes the entire East Coast. It doesn't pull back out like the first 2 storms. Here's your timestamp. Notice August 30th, August 31st, September 1st, Tropical Depression 9, which will more than likely be a storm by tomorrow at 2 p.m. They're saying you've got it in the Gulf, again, August 31st, 3 storms lined up right there. And if this model holds, you're going to have some flooding problems. You're going to have some beach erosion. You're going to have people drowned if they don't pay attention to the red flag warnings that are posted on the beach about rip currents. You're possibly going to have a lot of lightning on the beach too. So those are all factors to when you are thinking about going to the beach for Labor Day weekend. Just you watch the videos, see where your area is, but don't take any chances. There's a lot of moisture in this third storm, Tropical Depression 9, as it moves up. But I want to point out something, and I've said it the whole time. Tropical Depression 9, they're saying by tomorrow will be a tropical storm. It's in very warm water, and like I've been saying, now the mainstream news is saying that it's the warmest water on the planet at this point where it's entering to. So let's don't take our eyes off of it. This is the NOAA wind speed map. All of these links are on our website. You still got that large center part that's in the northern Atlantic, guys, and it's actually part of the Arctic vortex. You can see Gaston here, and you see the coloration changes going into yellow, orange, and red as the wind speeds increase. We may see that in the Gulf of Mexico. When it gets into a tropical storm point, you'll start seeing it strengthen because it has very little now that can shear it apart. Now you also have 2 storms that are between the Baja Peninsula and Hawaiian Islands. Check that out. There's center circulation below it. It's very close to the equator as you see that convergence zone at this point. It's also a very powerful storm that's again battering Japan. The last thing they need, because the infrastructure is never fully recovered from the Fukushima Daiichi plants, and it's going to rake right up that coast as it always does. But guys, this is a very active season. We've seen the Pacific like this a few times, but the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic, it's very rare that we see this much activity at one time. I don't know if it's pent up from not having severe storms, but it looks like it's on now. We're watching it, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.